to use us in a mighty way to do your business. God, we ask you to protect our public safety workers in Jackson County and all the surroundings. We ask you to help us make good and wise decisions. Amen. And if everybody will, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Is all in favor?
Also withdrawn. They were able to revise their site plan for an administrative variance as opposed to this variance application, so it's withdrawn as well.
Okay. And if I can, I would like to adjourn this at 6:05, and we will go straight into our work session. Call to order at 6:05 by City Manager Jennifer Harrison. Can I get an agenda approval?
I move to approve the agenda.
I second.
Okay, and can I get all in favor? Councilmember Porter?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Mayor and Council, if you'll, in your packet, you'll also realize that there's reports by Mayor, Council, and staff, citizens, community. If you also want to look at the reports, those are online under the agenda packet. So y'all are more than welcome to look at those reports as well. All right, new business. Line item number 1 is Aberdeen elevations. Mayor and Council, as you're aware, those elevations are in City Hall for you to look at. Citizens, you're more than welcome to come to the City Hall as well and look at those elevations, but they are a large document and a little too large for us to put with the packet. City Planner Hugh, do you have anything to add to that? Okay, is there any discussion? Okay. Councilmember Recorder, do you have anything to add to the elevations?
No, ma'am.
All right, we'll move on to line item number 2, intergovernmental agreement between Houston and the DDA. So, as most know, we have a great partnership with our Downtown Development Authority, and we are excited that our new chair, Ms. Jessica Martin, is here with us tonight. In that agreement, you'll notice that it is line item or letter E, which is given we are given permission to the Downtown Development Authority to delegate what to do with that piece of property at 29 Broad Street, which is what we call the Garden. So we are just giving them the authority to act on behalf of the City of Houston to help us with what the future is for that project. Does anybody have any questions? All right. Okay. Line item number 3 is the sign ordinance. We want to also thank the Planning and Zoning Board for their recommendations that are in yellow. And I will let Mr. Hugh talk about those changes.
The Planning and Zoning Commission has recommended a handful of changes to the sign ordinance. Some of the minor changes are in definitions, the marketing signage for residential subdivisions, and all of the changes are highlighted in yellow. Of the larger changes to the sign ordinance, we have established fines for violations of the sign ordinance. We have added to the section on flags that the flag of the United States should be displayed in accordance with U.S. flag code and state law. And we have prohibited signs that are attached to trees, traffic control devices, utility poles, benches, trash cans, or other similar devices.
All right, Mayor and Council, is there any questions or statements that y'all would like to make on these changes that were recommended from the Planning and Zoning Committee?
Yes, I have a question for Hugh, if I may. Hugh, on page 20, section A, it says, generally, any residence, establishment, or institution may, et cetera, et cetera. When I was reading that, I really don't want us to be able to control what residents can do. So I'd like to strike that word resident and refer more back to what homeowner associations and so forth can do for flags. But I just don't think that it's in the best interest of the city to tell a resident what kind of flag to hang, where to hang it, and how to hang it. I totally agree with commercial, industrial, and all that, but I'd like to strike the word residence.
I can strike the word residence in this, and that can be what we vote on next Thursday. I have no issue striking the word resident from that requirement.
I agree with Dave.
Any comments? None. Councilmember Porter, do you have any comments? No, ma'am. Okay. All right, we'll go on to the next. Line item number 4 is 2505, which is the compensation for mayor and council. What you have before you tonight, mayor and council, is something that y'all have discussed and agreed upon yourself, and this is your recommendation to do this. The compensation says the mayor shall receive a compensation of the sum of $1,500 per month. Each member of the Houston City Council shall receive a compensation of the sum of $1,000 per month. The reason for this was that there will be a savings because they're going to replace this compensation, which right now the mayor gets $1,000 per month, the council gets $500, but they also get benefits. So they're going to take away all their benefits, which is going to save the city money, and they're going to just put it toward compensation. But in the long term, it will save the city a significant amount of money. So this was their recommendation to be good stewards with the money of the city of Houston. Is there any questions for mayor and council?
I do have a comment I'd like to add to this.
Okay.
Policy as we go down the road, or an addition. I'd like to propose that the elected officials' compensation be tied to their performance in terms of attendance. This would include work sessions, voting sessions, executive meetings, retreats, and training. I suggest implementing a policy where, in order to receive our compensation for the upcoming month, an official must have attended the last X percentage of, and I don't know what the X percentage is, but of the meetings that were listed, or their pay would get adjusted.
It's my thinking that should be handled separately. Am I wrong, Ab? The compensation is, we're under a time crunch. If we want to tie whatever the compensation is, whether it remains the same or changes, if we want to tie it to performance, that could be handled separately and not under a time crunch, so we could really hammer out the details.
Well, the reason for the advertisement and the time crunch that I think you're referencing is, in order for it to be effective in January of 2026, y'all would have to pass this after advertisement, which has been advertised before qualifying, which is in like mid-August.
August 18th.
Right. So I think qualifying is after your voting meeting next Thursday, but before your normal meeting in August. So if y'all proceeded with this, that'd be fine. In terms of Dave's recommended policy, my understanding of what Dave is suggesting is not that you could make more than what's being referenced
Right.
in the proposed compensation ordinance, but just that if you didn't attend, that you would get docked, you know. So I think that could be done, like you say, anytime. It could be done next Thursday, it could be done in August, September, October, anytime. Because that would not be an increase in compensation that would require the publication and notice and this sort of thing.
So I love Councilmember Brown's idea. I just don't know that we could hammer out the details in time to tie it with this. So maybe we address that in August.
And I agree, we don't need to tie it to this, do another policy.
Right, kind of almost like what y'all did about a month or so ago. Yeah, same concept.
If any of the public has comments, we'll have a time for citizen input. If you've got the agenda, it's right after the last item on the agenda. And at that time, you're welcome to ask about or comment on any item you wish. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna, is there, I'm sorry, before I go on, Mayor and Council, is there any other questions or statements that y'all would like to make concerning this one? Okay. So, line item number 5 is Alma Farm deed, recommendations for staff approval. So this is just a right-of-way, this is a common, warranty deed. And, if y'all have any questions, just let me know.
Is there any bond associated with this?
There is a bond, that is associated with it, but, per our code, the mayor and council does not have to vote on that. But we, as the staff, will not allow that bond to be released yet until everything is clear. Everything is clear from staff. And, I look for Hugh, and from Jamie, our Public Works Director, for their recommendation before we release any bonds. Any other questions? All right, at this time, we'll go into citizen input, and I'll let Ab, talk on that.
Yes, and I didn't see which gentleman was asking about the compensation, but now is the time for citizen input. To the extent that anybody wishes to address the mayor and council about anything, then you'll have up to 5 minutes. If you want to speak, then raise your hand. I'll call you up. You'll go to the podium, state your name, your address, whether you're a resident of the city of Houston. You'll have up to 5 minutes. Does anyone wish to speak? All right, then seeing no hands, I'll close that down and turn it back over to you, Jennifer.
All right, thank you, Ab. We do not have an executive session, that is, intended for tonight, so we will go right into adjourning at 6:16. Can I get a motion?
I move to adjourn.
All right. Can I get all in favor? Councilmember
Yes.
Porter,